And a pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University here in Americus, Georgia for tonight's Peach Belt Conference opener featuring the GSW Hurricanes and the USC Aiken Pacers. My name is Mike Leader. I'm the Director of Athletics here at Georgia Southwestern. Keith Micklig, the normal play-by-play voice, on assignment again tonight in Valdosta. His son continues the call-up from 8th grade to JV baseball for the Deerfield-Windsor Knights. So Keith down there watching his son play tonight. I love Keith, but hopefully his son goes 0 for 4 so he can spend more time here in the booth and not give it over to me to call this for the next 3 hours. So if you're used to hearing Keith, you're stuck with me tonight, and we'll do the best we can. Keith will be back tomorrow and Sunday. 3-game series this weekend, 6 o'clock tonight, first pitch. Tomorrow afternoon, 2 p.m., and then we wrap it up here Sunday from Hurricane Stadium at 1 p.m. Both teams tonight coming in, struggling a little bit in the non-conference. GSW with a record of 4-11, 4-4 here at Hurricane Stadium, 0-7 on the road. And the Pacers from USC Aiken come in tonight with a 6-8 record, 2-4 away from the friendly confines of Aiken, South Carolina. On the mound tonight for the Hurricane, super senior Jared Donaldson. Jared in his 6th year with the program, taking advantage of that extra COVID year the NCAA granted during the pandemic. And as we take a look at the numbers for the Albany, Georgia native, Donaldson on the season, he's 1-2. He's made 4 appearances, all starts. He's pitched to an ERA of 2.75. And he'll be facing the top of the USC Aiken lineup, and it will be number 1, Jeff Sir.
Now batting number 8, Sean McQuillan.
Correction, that's number 8, Sean McQuillan.
That's why we have Sells up in here.
So Peyton Sells, the injured pitcher on the PA, taking care of business. I've already made my first mistake of the evening. And Donaldson throws the first pitch by McQuillan. McQuillan, a 6-foot, 190-pound graduate student from Cary, North Carolina, home of the NCAA Division II championship. So McQuillan around some good baseball. The 0-1 pitch for Donaldson in there. 2 quick strikes for Donaldson, one via the swing, the other McQuillan takes a look at. So Donaldson quickly ahead 0-2. And my silent assistant, Ryan Young, has pointed out that we are up to 3 umpires tonight. The 0-2 pitch tapped back to Donaldson. So a good start for GSW. One batter, 1 out as the Canes throw it around the horn. Taking a look at the infield, Gregory Wozniak behind the plate. At third base, Tyler Skelton, your shortstop, Miles Hartsfield. The second baseman, Matthew Mamadas. First baseman, Anthony Angelino. And as we mentioned, on the mound is the senior Jared Donaldson. In the outfield, we have Josh Newton in right field, Reed Ragsdale in left field, and Hunter Foster in center. So that'll set the Canes defense as Donaldson gets ready here for batter number 2. And his first pitch spikes to the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. I can't get the number of the hitter, so I'll have to give you who's up for Aiken. I believe that's number 10, Jackson Hannon, a 6-foot, 155-pound junior, Lexington, South Carolina. Fouls the second pitch straight back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hannon, a native River Bluff High School. And he played summer baseball with Peyton Sells of the GSW Hurricanes. So a little connection there between Hannon and Sells. A line shot right at Hunter Foster. Takes 2 steps to his left. And Donaldson retires the first 2 in order.
Thank you for the weather tonight, Leader.
And that's going to bring up number 1, Jeff Sear. Hopefully we're pronouncing that right. Sear, a 5'10", 180-pound senior from Arvada, Colorado. Long way from home. He started his career at Nova Southeastern. Beautiful night here at GSW. Perfect weather. In the production tent tonight, we have golf coach Darcy Donaldson handling all the video. So if you're not happy with the video, we wear many hats around here. And coming off of a second place finish in the Hurricane Invitational, Darcy is now manning the control tent here tonight. Yes, the first pitch was up and in for a ball.
He's better at hockey.
Donaldson misses low and away. So 2-0 to Sear. As we mentioned, the Peach Belt opener for both schools. A couple of common opponents. Both teams played the University of Tampa, the preseason #1 ranked team in the country. Both teams were swept. Both teams played games close to the first game, and then the last two games not as competitive. Sear works Donaldson to a 3-0 count. Nick Tripp is on deck, the cleanup hitter for Aiken, and Donaldson issues a 4-pitch walk. So Aiken has their first base runner of the evening. And as we said, that's going to bring up number 21, Nick Tripp. Tripp, 6'2", 195-pound junior, Jacksonville, Florida, and St. John's River Community College. Not sure if they still call it community college. It was back when I was coaching at Tallahassee Community College. On the season, Tripp hitting .305 with a homer and 8 RBI. So a chance to keep the Aiken inning alive in the first. Donaldson misses again in the dirt. Wozniak can't block it up, and Sear easily into second base. So a runner in scoring position here with 2 out. Donaldson got the first 2 relatively easy. A tap back to the mound for out number 1. A line drive to Foster for out number 2. Then a 4-pitch walk to Sear. And now falls behind 1-0 to Nick Tripp, the Aiken cleanup hitter. Donaldson has pitched well so far this year. This is start number 5. Off-speed pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. We mentioned Jared, 6th-year senior. Jared from Albany, Georgia, Terrell Academy. Right down the road, about 45 minutes from here. From the stretch, Donaldson again, another off-speed pitch in there for strike 2. So ahead of Tripp, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sear on second base. And we are just settling in for the first of 3 here at Hurricane Stadium. Donaldson gets the sign from Wozniak, checks the runner, checks Sear. Misses upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Jared trying to hold Aiken scoreless here in the top of the first. And a swinging strike 3. Wozniak down to Angelino, and that's going to end the top of the first inning. So for USC Aiken in the top of the first, no runs, no hits. There were no GSW errors. There was 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the first. Your score, USC Aiken 0, GSW coming to bat. You're listening to Hurricane Baseball on the Peach Belt Sports Network. And welcome back to Hurricane Stadium. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Aiken failed to score in the top of the first off Hurricane senior Jared Donaldson. And the Canes will make their way to the plate for the first time in Peach Belt Conference action this year. For USC Aiken on the mound, number 6, Hunter Steger. Steger is 6'2", 194-pound junior, North Augusta, South Carolina. Florence Darlington Tech transfer. And taking a look at the numbers here for Steger. As I go through, Steger making his 4th appearance, all starts. He's pitched 13 1/3 innings. He's given up 10 hits, 12 runs, 10 of which are earned. He's recorded 15 strikeouts and pitched to an ERA of 6.75. In the bottom of the first, he's going to face Hartsfield, Newton, and Angelino. The Hurricanes led by 4th-year skipper and GSW alum Josh McDonald. And McDonald will send Hartsfield to the plate. Hartsfield coming off a freshman year where he hit .372 as the Canes' primary third baseman. And Miles has played shortstop and center field this year, transitioning to the leadoff role. Hartsfield hitting .220 on the season.
Number 3, Miles.
6 RBIs. He has an on-base percentage of .435. So the left-handed Hartsfield trying to get something started here in the first inning. Miles, 5'10", 185-pound, Gainesville, Georgia, North Forsyth High School. And the first pitch in there for strike number 1. So Steger gets ahead of Hartsfield, 0-1. Canes wearing their gold uniforms tonight. The white pinstripe pants. Steger from the stretch, even with nobody on base, and Hartsfield falls behind 0-2 as he fouls the one past the Hurricane or over the Hurricane bullpen outside the fence. We said beautiful night here for baseball. Steger to Hartsfield. That one got away from him as it goes to the backstop on the fly. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. The sun setting here at Hurricane Stadium off of the Zaxby's foul pole, one of our corporate sponsors. Certainly appreciative of all the sponsorship that Zaxby's gives to Hurricane Athletics. Steger heading the count 1-2. And Hartsfield singles up the middle, so a good start for GSW. Hartsfield with a 1-2 single. The 4-hopper between short and second, and the Canes get the first base runner of the evening. And that's going to bring up Josh Newton.
Now batting, number 19.
Newton playing right field tonight. Also plays some infield. He's a redshirt freshman. The Locust Grove native, 6'2", 165 pounds. Hit a mammoth home run last Friday night at Lenoir-Rhyne. Steger misses low, ball 1. We mentioned that Newton homered last weekend, hitting 138 on the season. Steger working from the stretch as well, now with a runner on base. Upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. So the Hurricanes at home again next weekend against Claflin. Always important to get off to a good start in conference play. Steger checks Hartsfield. He's behind 2-0 to Newton. Right down the middle, it's going to get the count to 2 balls and a strike. We mentioned Newton had the home run last weekend at Lenoir-Rhyne, a 3-run homer. Those are all 3 of his RBIs on the season. Newton has played right field some. He's played designated hitter. And now he steps in and takes timeout. Locust Grove High School, Chattanooga State Community College. The 2-1 pitch. Newton fouls it back by the tennis courts. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hartsfield on first with a leadoff single. So the Canes trying to get something started here in the home half of the first inning. Aiken could not score in the first off of Jared Donaldson. They got a 2-out walk. Advanced to second on a wild pitch and was stranded there at second. Steger's 2-2 pitch to Newton. I think it hit him, or we got a foul ball. No, he called it a foul ball. So Newton looks like he's in pain. The umpire calls a foul ball. Coach McDonald doesn't like the call. We have 3 umpires now, so you'd think that we could get it right. Newton is in pain. Now he's going to show the umpire.
We paying 3 of y'all.
So the umpires are going to get together. Bryce Lawson checking on Newton. So, not sure if Darcy's got the replay in the production truck. So we got some filler music. You're not going to be able to tell from that angle, Darcy. So trying to pull it up on the production truck or in the production tent. A lot of discussion here between the umpires. So the difference is going to be it's 2 balls and 2 strikes with a runner on first, or first and second, nobody out with the 3-hole hitter Angelino coming up. The umpire's spending quite a bit of time talking, and you're going to have one unhappy head coach one way or the other. The conversation continues, and they give him first base. So Newton is going to be awarded first base on the hit by pitch, and that's going to bring out the skipper from USC, Aiken. He's not going to be happy. And now the discussion ensues between the umpire and Aiken's head coach. And I don't have that gentleman's name. And the debate continues. I don't think that he's going to win this debate. So when we finally settle things back down, it's going to be Anthony Angelino, the Hurricane leading hitter at 304. Anthony leads the team with 2 home runs. He also leads the team with 12 RBIs. On-base percentage of .412. And Angelino in his 3rd year in the program, as the argument continues. Angelino, the first baseman, 6'3", 210 pounds, Deptford, New Jersey. Transfer from Gloucester Community College. Gloucester Community College, where former Hurricane baseball coach Barry Davis is now the head coach at Rider University up in New Jersey. As the debate continues, Steger going to throw some warm-up pitches. I don't know the debate. And it finally ends. So the Aiken coach has got his words in, and Angelino's going to come to the dish. 2 on, nobody out here. Bottom of the first inning.
Now batting, number 27, Anthony Angelino.
Angelino in his 3rd year, taking advantage of his COVID year as well. Tied with the team lead in home runs with Greg Wozniak, but does lead the team in RBIs, and a great opportunity here for the GSW Hurricanes in the bottom of the first. Steger comes in with strike 1 as Angelino fouls it back to the tennis courts. So to reset, Hartsfield started the inning off with the bouncer between short and second. Newton was hit by a 2-2 pitch. And now Angelino with runners on and an 0-1 pitch from Steger. Swing and a miss from the Hurricane first baseman. Steger had 0-2. GSW has struggled to score runs this year. And a prime opportunity to give Jared Donaldson a little bit of breathing room here in the first inning. Home opener for GSW. First Peach Belt game for both teams. Steger checks Hartsfield. Hartsfield dances off second. The 0-2 pitch. Angelino fouls it back and will do it again. USC Aiken, about a 4-hour ride. Darcy from GSW's campus. Their coach retired last year after 600 wins. Steger from the stretch checked Hartsfield at second. Hartsfield wasn't going anywhere. No throw from Steger. As both teams play, as the dugouts play catch with the foul balls. Angelino digs back in. Hartsfield off second, Newton off first. The 0-2 pitch, just a bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Angelino hopefully can do a job here. The Canes catcher, Gregory Wozniak, on deck. A lot of room between short and third. Hartsfield again dances. And Steger uncorks a wild pitch, and that's going to move him up 90 feet. So the Hurricanes in business here in the bottom of the first. Hartsfield now on third, Newton on second. The count even to Angelino at 2-2. And if Angelino could put it in play, the Canes will have the first run of this PBC 3-game series. So Steger from the stretch. The 2-2 pitch. Outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Steger struggling early. GSW a heartbreaking 8-7 loss on Tuesday night to West Georgia. Had a 7-3 lead going into the 9th. Couldn't hang on. But the Peach Belt opener, everybody 0-0. The 3-2 pitch. Angelino barely stays alive. Fouls it off. So we'll do it again. Hartsfield with a single. Newton with a controversial hit by pitch. And now it's the Canes' first baseman.
Not after looking at the replay, it wasn't controversial. Great replay.
Steger from the stretch, the 3-2 pitch. Angelino fouls it off. So Steger with a good strikeout ratio coming in. Doesn't look like he has overpowering stuff. Looks like he comes from a not quite a sidearm slot, but a little bit different arm angle. Would that be accurate, Mr. Sells? So our pitching injured pitcher, two injured pitchers up here agree with me. And Angelino back up the middle. And the throw gets away on an error. So Hartsfield scores. Newton to third. Angelino reaches on an error by the USC Aiken shortstop. I can't quite make out that number.
What you looking for?
The shortstop number for Aiken.
35, red.
I'll find it for you.
Wozniak.
So the error was made by the shortstop, number 18, Tyler Littlefield. Range to his left, came up throwing, and the throw took the first baseman off the bag. So the Canes got him on the corners here. Nobody out. Greg Wozniak, the catcher. Hartsfield got the hit. Wozniak hitting .235. 11 RBIs. Woz either catches or plays DH. This is his 15th appearance, his 15th start. .471 slugging percentage. Center fielder Hunter Foster on deck. Good start for the Hurricanes, up 1-0 after Jared Donaldson had a relatively easy first inning. Steger not having as much success. First and third, nobody out already, a run in. Good pitch on the outside corner there. No balls and 2 strikes to the Canes cleanup hitter. Lights are on here at the stadium. Sometimes that's an advantage for GSW. I think those lights are older than me. And I'm 54. So Steger from the stretch, 0-2. And Woz punches one down the right field line into the Aiken bullpen. A lot of positive things happening around campus. And nothing for baseball more important than the completion of the baseball locker room. 1,500 square feet will be opened within a month during Alumni Weekend. If you're an alum listening tonight, please try to make it out for the first weekend in April against Columbus State when we dedicate the GSW locker room. Wozniak behind 0-2 in the count. Steger needs a strikeout. He misses outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The locker room adjacent to the 7,500 square foot indoor hitting facility for baseball and softball. And when that 2-pronged project is finished, it will be as nice as there is in Division II.
I didn't see it. You're talking about, it may have gone in the bullpen.
So the 1-2 pitch. Wozniak fouls it off again. Steger spending a lot of currency here this inning and still doesn't have an out. Wozniak, 2 home runs, 6 doubles. The team leader in doubles, tied for the lead in homers. And if he homers here, he'll be the team leader in RBIs. Trailing Angelino by 1. The 1-2 pitch from Steger, up and in, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Aiken, as we said, comes in with a record of 6-8, 2-4 away from home, from Roberto Hernandez Stadium. Misses upstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Wozniak has battled back from 0-2, and he should get something he can hit here. Steger from the stretch. Don't think Angelino's going anywhere. The 3-2 pitch. Looks like Wozniak may have swung at ball 4. A swing and a miss, so Steger gets a big strikeout there. And that's going to bring up Hunter Foster. Foster playing center field. He's played right field some as well. This is his 11th game, his 11th start. Foster hitting .206 on the season. No home runs, no extra base hits, but he does have 4 RBIs. So a chance to add to the RBI column for Foster. Foster, a 6'2", 195-pound redshirt junior. Hazelhurst, Georgia. He looks at strike one from Steger. So the Canes certainly want to try to get more than one run out of this. Steger one pitch away from keeping this thing at 1-0. High chopper. And a great play by Steger as he gets Newton at the plate. So a slow bouncer by Foster. Steger comes to the plate to get the lead runner, and now he's one pitch away from getting out of this. He's going to bring up the left fielder, Reed Ragsdale. Ragsdale hitting an even 200 this year. 2 triples. Swings and fouls the first one back. So Angelino on second. Foster on first. And the Canes trying to manufacture something here. They only have 1 hit, but they've been able to turn that into a run. And a couple of pitches ago, we were first and third with nobody out. Now it's first and second, 2 out, and 1 run in. So Reed Ragsdale, transfer from Andrew College. Americus native, went to Sly County High School right up the road. Steger checks, comes to Ragsdale. In there for strike 2, so Reed in a hole 0-2. So far, Steger's thrown 29 pitches. He threw 6 shutout innings against the University of Tampa, the preseason ranked #1 team in the country. From the stretch, the 0-2 pitch. Just outside, Ragsdale stays alive. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Foster leads off first. Angelino a short lead off second. The 1-2 pitch hits Ragsdale, so the bases will be loaded. Steger hits the second batter of the inning. And now the bases are going to be loaded. And it looks like it's going to be Tyler Skelton. Third baseman Tyler Skelton, hitting 173 this year. 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, and a great opportunity to extend the inning. Skelton, another super senior, redshirt senior, taking advantage of that COVID year, 6'3", 175 pounds, for Forsyth, Georgia, Mary Persons High School. Tyler's played a little bit of everywhere here. He came in as a shortstop. He's played first, he's played third, he's DH'd. Steger right down the middle for strike 1. So Steger's hit 2 batters. There's been 1 single. There's been an error. But the Canes only have 1 run. So Steger trying to work out of a big jam here in the first. And Skelton looks at the first 2 pitches. And Steger ahead 0-2. Sun is about set here. Skelton asks for and gets timeout. TJ Campbell taking a look at the camera, making sure Darcy can deliver on the production value that we, just to get a little bit more light there from the side camera. The 0-2 pitch. And Skelton swings and misses. So for GSW, 1 run, 1 hit. There was 1 USC Aiken error. The Canes left the bases loaded. We go to the second inning. Your score, GSW 1, USC Aiken 0. Welcome back to the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University, Hurricane Field. We move to the top of the second, Peach Belt opener for both teams. The Canes strike first. scoring 1 run, leaving the bases loaded.
Now batting number 42, Josh Sharp.
And this is going to bring up for Aiken to start the second inning, number 42, Josh Sharp, 5'10 freshman, Lawrenceville, Georgia, Brookwood High School. A powerhouse in just about everything that they do up there. So Donaldson facing a left-handed hitting Sharp. Fastball in there for strike 1. So Jared's got a chance to pitch with the lead. Here, beautiful night for baseball, low humidity. Should be a great weekend. And the ump gives him time. So that's a no pitch. Nothing happened. He called time. So Sharp called time late, was granted. Donaldson continued with the pitch. Some chirping from the Hurricane dugout. The 0-1 pitch. Upstairs and in, so 1-1 to Sharp. Sharp hitting .258 on the year, 14 games, all starts. So the freshman's come in there and taking a job right away. Slow roller to Angelino, he'll do it by himself. So an easy first out for Jared Donaldson to start the second inning. And that's going to bring up Caden Blankenship, 6'2", 195-pound sophomore, Savannah, Georgia, Cavalry Day School. A lot of Georgia flavor on this Aiken roster. Aiken just on the other side of Augusta, Georgia. Blankenship made the error back in the bottom of the first, hitting .229 this year, started every game. He has homered with 8 RBIs. And he fouls Donaldson's fastball back to the net. No balls and a strike. Oh, I'm sorry, the shortstop made the error. That was not Blankenship, so I apologize to the Blankenship family if they're listening. My mistake. So Donaldson comes in there with the strike. No balls and 2 strikes. A very South Carolina, Georgia flavor for the Aiken roster. The 0-2 pitch. Up and in, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Donaldson does work quickly. He's a good one to field behind. He gets the ball, he's ready to go. Working from the stretch. The 1-2 pitch. Jared leaves it upstairs, still looking for his first strikeout. He does have 1 walk. And a slow roller to Hartsfield at short. Hartsfield up. Easy throw to Angelino. So 2 up, 2 down, just like the first inning for Jared Donaldson. That's going to bring up number 4, Marcus Mastaleon. Stuart, Florida, South Fork High School. I hope I pronounced his name right. Either I'm right or Peyton Sells is right, because we didn't say it the same way. So Donaldson in there for strike 1, off to a good start. South Fork, the area down around Stewart, a beautiful area. In there for strike 2. So Donaldson working quick and efficiently. That's a good combination on a Friday night. Teams will do it again tomorrow at 2 o'clock. I don't think we'll have Darcy Donaldson in the production tent, but you can't have it all. Shamrock Jog and Jam tomorrow. Tracy Law and his family putting on, I don't know how many annual they've done, but it's always a great event. And certainly something that GSW Athletics and the GSW community supports and will continue to support. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Donaldson, or for Donaldson, and the swinging strikeout to end the second inning. So for Aiken, no runs, no hits, no GSW errors, no runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the second. Your score, GSW 1, Aiken nothing. You're listening to Hurricane Baseball on the Peach Belt Conference Sports Network.
no belts and hoses, not X and O's. I do O2 sensors, but not defenses. Yeah, I make a right call to keep your car in the game. Don't even need a playbook, it's all in my brain. Fuel injectors, alternators, radiators too. It's who I am, it's what I do. Never know how. Never know.
All right, back here at Hurricane Stadium, we go to the bottom of the second. GSW scratch one across on the first. A hit, a couple of hit batters, an error, and a ground out. Got GSW their first run. So we move to the bottom of the second. And towards the bottom of the Hurricane lineup, we work our way down. It's going to be number 4, Grant McDonald. McDonald, a utility player, redshirt junior, Monroe, Georgia, George Walton Academy. His brother Brooks, an outstanding member of the pitching staff here at GSW for 4 years, and now coaching baseball over at the Furlough Charter School here in Americus. So very excited and proud of Brooks. But we need a hit from his brother Grant. Steger misses upstairs for ball 1.
Ball one, Darcy.
Steger continues to work from the stretch. Donald hits it on the screws to short, and an easy throw. So 2 pitches, 1 out. And that's going to bring up the second baseman, Matthew Mamadis.
Now batting number 7, Matthew Mamadis.
Matthew, a redshirt junior, McDonough, Georgia, Ola High School. I mention this every time that I'm on the radio, but very proud of Matthew. He is a recipient of the NCAA Degree Completion Scholarship. So the NCAA picking up the tuition and fees for Matthew for his performance on the field, in the classroom, in the community, joining Dakota Long a few years back for GSW baseball as recipients of that prestigious NCAA Degree Completion Scholarship. So certainly a tip of the hat to Matthew Mamadis and his family. And Steger gets him for strike 1 looking with 1 out here in the second. Calls that one a strike as well. I think Matthew got the short end of the stick there. So 0-2 to Mamadis. Matthew came in as a shortstop, has transitioned over to second base, batted just about everywhere in this lineup. Fights it off there. That might be a tough play. Oh, good play from the first baseman and the pitcher. So 2 quick outs here for the Hurricanes in the bottom of the second. Steger looks like he's calmed down. But we're going to flip the lineup. It's going to be Miles Hartsfield. Hartsfield singled and scored the only run back in the first inning. So
Back at the top of the lineup for the Hurricanes, number 3.
Hartsfield singled right up the middle off Steger. Advanced to second when Newton was hit by the pitch. Advanced to third on a wild pitch and scored. Oh, Hartsfield hits one on the screws. That's going to be, what a great catch out in center field. Holy cow. That was fantastic. So Hartsfield hit it on the nose, a diving catch out there in center field. That's going to end it for GSW. So for the Hurricanes at the bottom of the second, no runs, no hits, no Aiken errors. So welcome back to GSW Hurricane Stadium on the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University. We move to the third inning and a defensive change here for GSW. Going into right field will be number 18, Garrett Bradley. Bradley will replace Josh Newton, so apparently that hit he took from Steger in the second inning, enough to knock him out of the game. So Bradley into right field. And Aiken starts off the third with Scott Huntley. Huntley, a 5'10", redshirt junior. Severna Park, Maryland. So a little Maryland flavor here for Aiken. He squares to bunt. Donaldson gets him for strike one. So both pitchers look to be settled in. GSW had Steger on the ropes in the first inning. He worked his way out of it and then had a relatively easy second. And there's a tough play from Mamadas going, got him. So Matthew Mamadas returns the favor. Aiken ended the bottom of the second with a great play, and we start the top of the third as Mamadas goes far to the throwing side and makes a great play to get Hundley. So this is going to bring up number 18, Tyler Littlefield. Littlefield, a 5'9", 180-pound redshirt junior, Fresno, California. Squares to bunt as well. Doesn't make contact, and Donaldson's ahead 0-1. A great play at second base by Mamadas. Went far to the shortstop side of second base to make that play, and then Angelino blocked it up to get out number one. And you need that in low-scoring games. So a great play by the Hurricane defense. Donaldson in there working quickly, 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Littlefield. The 0-2 pitch. Swinging strike 3. Wozniak hung on as it was foul tipped. So 2 good plays for the Hurricane defense to start the third inning. A great play by Mamadas at second and a swinging strikeout by Littlefield that Wozniak was able to hold on to. This is going to bring back the top of the order for Aiken and Sean McQuillan. McQuillan, the graduate student. Now to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. Again, Donaldson working quickly, but more importantly, incredibly efficiently. Outside corner. McQuillan takes a look at strike 1. Donaldson 32 pitches so far with 2 outs here in the second. 33 pitches is going to get him through the third. So a 2-bouncer to Mamadas, and that's going to do it for Aiken in the third inning. No runs, no hits, no GSW errors. Nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. Your score remains GSW 1, Aiken nothing. You're listening to Hurricane Baseball on the Peach Belt Conference Sports Network.
Try an Immune Builder smoothie. With 800% of your daily vitamin C, it's just what you need to rule the day.
Plays here by both teams. Aiken with a tremendous play out in center field to end the second. And then Mamadas, certainly with a Sports Center worthy out number 1 in the third. And now we go to the bottom of the third. It's going to be Garrett Bradley. Bradley's subbing in for Josh Newton. Newton was beamed back in the first inning and bad enough to where he had to come out of the game. So Bradley will take over in right field and happens to be the first batter up this inning. Steger calmed down there in the second. Misses low, ball 1. Angelino on deck. Angelino with a ground out back in the first to score the only run as Hartsfield scampered home from third to give the Canes the lead. The 1-0 pitch. Upstairs, ball 2. Bradley from Savannah. Slow roller to first. Steger over to cover, and he misses. So Bradley's going to be on board. That's the second pacer error of the game. Not sure if we're going to score that for the first baseman or the pitcher. The pitcher had to run a long way to cover. The throw looked pretty good. Steger had to do a little bit of work. I think that's a play Steger probably could have made. So I think the error will go to the pitcher. But Aiken's second error starts the Canes third with a base runner. So Bradley aboard via the error. And now it brings up the Canes number 3 hitter, leading hitter, Anthony Angelino. So Steger with an error to allow the first runner on in the dirt. Almost got away from the catcher, but a nice play. So it's 1 ball and no strikes to the Canes first baseman. Steger checks Bradley, no real lead there. The 1-0 pitch. Low and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Gregory Wozniak on deck, struck out swinging. Back in the first inning. So 2 balls and no strikes. Angelino with 2 home runs, tied for the team lead. Be a great time to go with number 3. The 2-0 pitch. Big swing and a foul ball into the Hurricane dugout. So Canes trying to get something started here in the third inning. They're up 1-0. Peach Belt Conference opener. Canes have Claflin next weekend at home. So we open with 6 straight Peach Belt games at home. The 2-1 pitch. Missed by a mile. And that's going to get all the way back to the back screen. And Bradley easily up to second base on the wild pitch. So Steger's been a little bit wild tonight. 2 hit batters, a couple thrown back to the screen. Had a flawless second inning, but the odd inning seemed to get him. So Angelino with a 3-1 count. Wozniak on deck, and the Canes trying to get some breathing room here early in this home opener. Angelino flares one foul into the Aiken bullpen. So we got a full count here. Bradley on second base. Angelino needs to get that runner over to third and put Wozniak in a position here to get an RBI. The 3-2 pitch. And Angelino swings and misses. So Steger, when he's needed it, has been able to get the strikeouts. He struck out Angelino there. He struck out Wozniak back into first, and Skelton as well. So not much situational hitting tonight by GSW. Bradley's still at second base.
35, Greg Wozniak.
And that's going to bring up Greg Wozniak. Woz struck out back in the first. Steger and Donaldson both work quickly. Bradley off second base. Steger a couple of looks. Misses outside. So Bradley was on second base. Angelino had a 3-1 count. Steger up to 46 pitches here. Trying to get through the third inning. Behind here to Wozniak, 1-0. And now 2-0. So the Canes need to get this runner moving.
We're big on pitch counts up here in the booth.
So the lights are the predominant light source now.
Go, God help us.
So Steger behind 2-0 to Woz. Outside corner. He's lived there when he's been on. It's a tough pitch to hit. 2 balls and a strike to the Canes catcher. So no doubleheaders this weekend. 3 single games. We do it at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Canes 360 10 available. GSW Booster Club members, Canes 360 members, beer and peanuts tomorrow. As Steger uncorks another wild pitch. and Bradley moves up to third. So 2 wild pitches in this inning. And now Wozniak ahead in the count 3-1. A green light special here to try to give us the lead. Sparse crowd tonight. Should pick up on the weekend. The 3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4, and another wild pitch is going to allow Bradley to score. So Wozniak aboard on the walk, but the 3-1 pitch, again, another one that gets to the backstop. That's the 4th pitch tonight that is wound up back at the backstop. So the Hurricanes now lead 2-0.
Now batting number 15, Hunter.
And that's going to bring up the center fielder, Hunter Foster. Foster with a tap out to the pitcher, and Newton was erased at the plate back in the first inning. Foster asks for and gets time, so Wozniak leads off of first. GSW still with just 1 hit.
Got some bullpen activity.
Aiken's bullpen starts to stir as Steger has labored here in the 3rd inning. Foster with a swing and a miss. So an error and then 3 wild pitches allow Bradley to score. And now Wozniak leads off of first. And a pass ball this time. So the Aiken battery really struggling here as Wozniak moves up 90 feet to second base. That's a pass ball. So can't blame Steger on that one. It was called a ball, but it certainly should have been handled by the catcher. Not sure if he got crossed up or just couldn't see it in those lights. But it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So another runner in scoring position here for the Canes center fielder, Hunter Foster. The 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2-1. Reed Ragsdale on deck. I believe Ragsdale grounded out in his first appearance. 2 balls and a strike. The Hazelhurst, Georgia native, Wozniak off a second. He's bouncing around. Upstairs, 3-1. I got to think Steger's leash is getting shorter and shorter. 6 shutout innings against the preseason #1 ranked team in the country, so he certainly has it in there. The 3-1 to Foster. Upstairs, ball 4, and Foster walks. So the Hurricanes might not be getting many hits, but they've been efficient getting runners on base, whether it's an error, a walk, or hit batters. And that's going to bring up Ragsdale, and we'll see if Steger will be the one to face him.
Now batting number 9, Reed Ragsdale.
And that's going to bring a visit, I believe, from the pitching coach. Not sure if he makes the changes or not, but he's having a few words with Steger. Again, the Hurricanes runners at first and second, 1 out, 1 run in, and still no Hurricane hits this inning. So Garrett Bradley aboard on an error, advanced to second, third, and home, all on wild pitches. Wozniak walked, advanced to second on a pass ball, and then Foster gets a walk. So a visit on the mound. I think the umpire's going to break this up, and Aiken's going to have to make a decision here if they want to make a pitching change or not. If they do, we'll take a break. But they don't. They give Steger a pat and tell him he's the guy. We mentioned that he pitched 6 scoreless against the University of Tampa earlier this year. And now the left fielder, Reed Ragsdale, at the plate. First and second, 1 out, 1 run in. Steger from the stretch. In there for strike 1. So when he's been on, he's been very sharp. He works those edges very well. Tyler Skelton on deck, a strikeout victim, swinging his first at-bat. So Ragsdale with a chance here. Canes up 2-0. Again, only 1 hit in this game. A single by the leadoff hitter for GSW, Miles Hartsfield. Donaldson now taking a few warm-up tosses in the bullpen. Ooh, they had Waz leading. Steger's pickoff throw was a little bit better. They may have gotten him. The shortstop ducked in behind Waz. Ragsdale behind 0-1. Big hole between short and third. Down and in, the count even at 1-1. So if Ragsdale can go the other way with a ground ball, he's got an ocean of room over there. And Reed can run. So 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 Canes aboard, both via the walk. Steger comes set, misses again. The catcher, the battery just can't get together here. So another pass ball. And now Wozniak advances to third. Foster to second. And it's 2 balls and a strike to Ragsdale. So I think that's a ball that should have been caught, but that's either the 4th wild pitch and 2nd pass ball. Way outside, 3 balls and a strike, and my guess is if Ragsdale gets aboard, Steger's night will be over. So Waz on third, Foster on second, 3-1. Hitters count here for Reed Ragsdale. Steger's set, misses way outside, ball 4. Ragsdale walks, so Steger's walked the bases loaded here. And that's going to bring up Tyler Skelton. So the Hurricanes still with just 1 hit. And it looks like they're going to stay with Steger, so I was wrong. He wormed his way out of a bases-loaded jam back in the first. He's looking for a double play here. Aiken's got the infield back, playing for 2. In at third a little bit. Skelton struck out last time. Fouls the first one straight back here. So Steger gets ahead, no balls and a strike. Big spot here for GSW. They could really extend and give Donaldson some breathing room. Jared has cruised through the first 3 innings. Steger comes set. And another wild pitch, and that's going to score another run. So Wozniak scampers home, the 5th wild pitch of the night. Foster gets to third. Ragsdale to second. And the count goes to 1-1 to the Hurricane third baseman, Tyler Skelton. GSW now leads 3-0. So this inning for GSW, 2 runs. They don't have a hit, and Aiken has an error. So a very unconventional 2-run inning here. 5 wild pitches, and that's going to be it. You don't see this often, a pitching change in the middle of an at-bat, but I think the Aiken skipper has seen enough. We'll take a break here on the Peach Belt Conference Sports Network. Okay, sorry for the delay. Had to step away for a few minutes while Aiken made the pitching change. While I was gone, Tyler Skelton singled through the drawn-in infield as Aiken has made a pitching and a catching change. Unfortunately, my spotter is pointing it out. I can't see a thing in the dark, so it doesn't matter. So, number 26, I can see the number. I can't. Well, it's number 40 is pitching. So, strike. No balls and a strike to McDonald. And in there for strike two. So Skelton on first. I think it's Ragsdale on third, if I'm not mistaken. The Canes are up 4-0. As Skelton singled in a run. Still one out here in the bottom of the third. McDonald fouls it off. So for Aiken, Peyton Boozer is your pitcher, left-hander. 5'11" freshman from right there in Aiken, South Carolina. So Boozer getting a little action against McDonald. Up and in. So a rarity when they changed the battery for Aiken. The pitcher and the catcher come out. 5 wild pitches and 2 pass balls in 3 innings. So Donaldson's done kind of staying loose in the bullpen down there. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to McDonald. Needs to do a job here. Fouls it straight back. So Skelton with the single over the drawn-in infield gives the Canes a 4-0 cushion. The Peach Belt opener. All kinds of Peach Belt action tonight. Everybody squaring off 5 different series. A couple of teams off to good starts. Lander and North Georgia start their 3-game set. The 1-2 pitch. Just a bit inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So McDonald looking to do a job here. Looks like Aiken's playing double play depth. Looking to roll a pair. GSW with 4 runs. And McDonald is going to hit into that double play. And that gets him out of the inning. So for GSW, 3 runs, 1 hit. There was 1 Aiken error. 1 runner left on base. Your score as we go to the 4th inning, GSW 4, Aiken nothing. Nothing lead. And Jackson Hannon will lead off the Aiken 4th. Donaldson cruising. Last inning, GSW the beneficiary of several wild pitches and pass balls, but an inning-ending double play ground ball by McDonald kept the damage. So Boozer comes in and does a great job. The freshman from right there in Aiken minimizes the damage. So GSW with a 4-0 lead. And Donaldson pitching with his largest cushion of the year. I guess with the exception of the Shepherd game. First pitch, foul ball straight back. women's soccer assistant Andrew Sendek, always willing to get the umpires back. You got to do extra work tonight, Andrew. They got 3 of them in there for strike 2. So Donaldson, again, working quickly, working efficiently. And looking to get out number 1. The 0-2 pitch. Hannon held off. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Aiken, an interesting administrative setup in their athletics. Their athletic director, Jim Hurley, he 10 years in Major League Baseball in the front office. Worked for the Texas Rangers and the Phillies organizations. As Hannon hits a 2-bouncer to Hartsfield. And Hartsfield overthrows Angelino. So GSW now gets on the error train as Hartsfield so 2-bounce error that Angelino could not climb the ladder and get. So Hannon aboard. And this is going to bring up number 1, Jeff Sir. Here with a walk his first time, a 4-pitch walk. Got to second on a pass ball and was stranded there in the first inning. So Hannon aboard, a leadoff error. And Donaldson comes back in with a strike. So Jared has pitched well. The teams have combined tonight for more errors than hits. 3 errors between the 2 teams, 2 hits. Aiken does not have a hit yet. So Donaldson, quick and efficient. If you're playing behind him, that's what you want to see. Hard throw over to first. That was his pro move. He wasn't going to give him the to just show you move. He came over there looking to pick him off. So Hannon aboard. No balls and a strike. Canes up 4-0. Donaldson changed speeds there. Sear fouled it back behind over the Aiken dugout. So no balls and 2 strikes. GSW riding a 5-game losing streak. Swept last weekend at Lenore-Rhine, ranked 24th in the country at the time. Donaldson pitched well in game 3 as he misses upstairs on Saturday last week. So Jared with a late Saturday start. Dalton Cameron became the Friday night starter. He had a family issue to take care of, so he had the Friday start. Jared pitched game 3 for the first time all year, back at the top of the rotation, and pitched very well last Saturday and had a no decision at Lenore-Rhine. A game the Canes lost in 13 innings. So Donaldson works from the stretch. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sear. Throw over to first. O'Hannon's not going anywhere. Donaldson again from the stretch. The 1-2. Big swing and a miss. So the first out via the strikeout for Jared Donaldson. And that's going to bring up number 21, the cleanup hitter, Nick Tripp.
Now batting number 21, Nick Tripp.
So a leadoff error. And then Donaldson answers with the strikeout. So 1 on, 1 out here in the 4th. Good start to the Peach Belt opener for GSW. They're up 4-0 here in game 1. Tripp first pitch swinging, fouls it straight back above home plate. GSW chased Aiken starter, the Aiken starter, back in the 3rd. And now Donaldson trying to make the 4-0 lead hold. The 0-1 pitch. Tripp pulls it foul. That may get the car, Darcy. Didn't hear anything, so must not have got it. So Tripp fouled it towards the parking lot behind the 3rd base foul line, left field foul line. And now Donaldson again ahead 0-2. So Donaldson bows the neck, the 0-2 pitch. Good job by Waz blocking it up. Tripp wasn't fishing on the off-speed pitch, so 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jared Donaldson for the season, as we mentioned. 2.75 ERA, leading ERA amongst the 3 starters. Nick McCullum with a 2.79 ERA, so the top of the Hurricane rotation is stout. And Donaldson gets another strikeout as Tripp swings through the changeup. And that's out number 2.
Now batting number 42, Josh Sharp.
And that's going to bring up Josh Sharp, as Jared just executed pitch number 45. So 1 on, 2 outs here in the Aiken half of the 4th. That's a great replay if you're watching at home. Donaldson misses upstairs, ball 1. Coming into the game, Sharp hitting .258. Hit 8 RBIs. The 1-0 pitch, Donaldson from the stretch. Fastball fouled back. For the season, Aiken came in hitting .251 as a team and had pitched to an ERA of 5.68. The 1-1 pitch. Popped up. Hartsfield into shallow left. Makes the play. So that'll end the top of the 4th for Aiken. No runs, no hits. There was 1 GSW error. 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Your score remains GSW 4, Aiken nothing. You're listening to Hurricane Baseball on the Peach Belt Sports Network.
They say college is the best time of your life. But what about what comes next? At Georgia Southwestern State University, you're not just here for the clubs, or the campus, or the dining hall. You're here for small class sizes, affordable programs, and real-world experience. When you come to GSW, you're not just here for college. You're here for your tomorrow. Georgia Southwestern State University. Take tomorrow by storm. Start your journey at gsw.edu.
Nothing lead looking around the Peach Belt tonight. The University of North Georgia on the road leads Lander 3-1. Claflin University on the road at Columbus. Columbus leads 32-3 in the 6th inning. GSW's opponent next week is Claflin. And then the other game, Augusta at Flagler, the last series to start. Flagler with a 2-0 lead on Augusta in the 5th.
Number 7, Matthew.
And the second baseman, Matthew Mamatis, leading off here in the bottom half of the 4th. So Mamatis digs in. Hoover pitched great coming out of the bullpen, keeping things at bay. Fastball upstairs, they check, and nothing. 1 ball and no strikes. Hoover from right there in Aiken, South Carolina. Hoover working from the stretch with nobody on base. Mamatis, hard hit, great play at short. No way he can make the play. An infield sinker for Matthew Mamatis. So Mamatis starts the Canes 4th with an infield hit. And that's going to turn the lineup over again for Miles Hartsfield. Hartsfield singled in the 1st and hit it on the screws in the 2nd inning. And a great play in center field to get him out. So Hartsfield has hit it well his first 2 times up. And with Mamatis on first, the Canes looking to add to their 4-0 lead. Lefty on lefty. Hoover in there for strike 1. For those of you watching at home, there will be a replay coming up next. I don't know what we're replaying, Darcy, but I'm looking forward to it. So Hoover, the 0-1 pitch, in there for strike two. Here's the replay. Mamatis is hit. In the production truck, Darcy Donaldson with the replay. Look at that. Great camera work, great production. That's what you pay good money for in the PBC Sports Network. So Hartsfield in an 0-2 hole here. Hoover comes set. Low, a delayed steal. Mamatis will be out by a mile. So Mamatis thrown out. Catcher to second. So Mamatis erased. So 1 ball and 2 strikes out of Hartsfield. So Mamatis with an infield single to start, and then he's erased on the stolen base attempt. The Canes continue to struggle in that department as Hartsfield grounds to second. And there'll be 2 outs now for Bradley. So for the season, GSW now 7 for 15 on the bases. Garrett Bradley to the dish. Bradley reached on an error and came around to score for the season. Bradley, with 1 hit, he has a double and got an RBI. So Bradley digging in here, looking to get his second hit as a Hurricane. Lefty on lefty again. Hoover comes in for strike 1. So Hoover's done a really nice job out of the bullpen. A Boozer. I keep calling him Hoover. I'm sorry. Boozer. Peyton Boozer. He's 2-0. He's made 5 appearances. 4.50 ERA. So I apologize. I've been calling him Boozer. And there's a little flare into left field. And that's going to end the third. So a good job there by Boozer. For GSW, no runs, 1 hit. No Aiken errors, no runners left on base. We go to the top of the 5th. Your score remains GSW 4, Aiken nothing. You're listening to Hurricane Baseball on the Peach Belt Sports Network. Jared Donaldson still yet to allow a hit. There's been a Hurricane error and a walk. But 4-0 GSW. We complete the warm-up tosses. And Aiken will have number 7, Caden Blankenship, coming to the plate. Again, I apologize. I've been calling Peyton Boozer Hoover. Clearly his name is Peyton Boozer. And Boozer has pitched very well.
Number 7, Caden Blankenship.
So Blankenship to start off the Aiken 5th. Donaldson working from the windup. And first pitch in the dirt for ball 1. For GSW so far, 4 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. Aiken, no runs, no hits, and 2 errors. And the 1-0 pitch to Blankenship. Low and away, 2 balls and no strikes. So Aiken had the leadoff runner on last inning via an error. And Blankenship looking to work a walk here from the Canes starter. 2 balls and no strikes. And Donaldson misses, and that one got Waz, skipped up and got Waz. So the umpire will do the humanitarian thing and give Waz a chance to get his bearings. as he walks out to the mound to give Donaldson the ball. Well, that really clipped Waz there, so now Coach McDonald will walk out there. A little Journey in the background, Darcy. Coach Donaldson, in addition to his job as the production replay guy, he's our golf coach. He struggles with his knowledge of 80s music. But that's why I'm here, Darcy. So Wozniak's still down. Coach McDonald out there to take a look. We mentioned Josh in his 4th year. Josh and his twin brother, Justin, 5-year players here at Georgia Southwestern. Justin became a graduate assistant here at GSW, now the head coach at Wayne County High School. Very successful program on the eastern part of the state. Josh got into college coaching. His travels have taken him to Georgia College in Milledgeville, LSU Eunice, in 8 years as the volunteer assistant at Georgia Southern before his first head coaching job here at GSW. So Josh in his 4th year at the helm of GSW. Okay, Wozniak looks like he's okay. 3-0 to Blankenship. And Donaldson in there for the get me over strike 1. So 3 balls and a strike to the leadoff hitter here in the 5th inning for the USC Aiken Pacers. Pacers had a good basketball season. Blankenship skies one to right field. Bradley coming on and makes the play. So Donaldson battles from 3-0 down to get out number 1, and that's going to bring up number 26.
Up to the plate, number 26.
Carson Seuss, who came in the pitching change. We also had a catching change. So Seuss comes in, a 5'11", 190-pound sophomore. Darcy, you'll like this one. He's from Rancho Cucamonga, California.
You'll like that one, Darcy.
Los Osos High School, Darcy. Do you know what the translation of Los Osos is? Darcy does not. But Darcy's from Canada, so he can't hold that against him. A swinging strike 1 for Seuss.
He's a hell of a golf coach.
He is a good golf coach.
He's pretty good on that in that replay.
So a swinging strike and now a looking strike by Seuss, and Donaldson ahead 0-2. Same 2 teams tomorrow, 2 o'clock first pitch. Hurricane Stadium should be a beautiful weekend. The 0-2 pitch. Tapped foul by Seuss. As we said, Seuss came in with a pitching change. He's hitting 190 on the season, 21 at-bats. He has 1 RBI, 292 on-base percentage, 10 appearances. This will be his 11th. He started 5 games behind the plate for the Pacers. He's behind here 0-2 to Jared Donaldson in the 5th inning. Donaldson does not get the call. I think you could tell by Wozniak's throw back to the mound he was not happy with the call. And Seuss gets the count to 1-2. Seuss better be swinging at this one because I don't think he's going to get the same generosity. He does swing and fouls it back. So Donaldson cruising here in the 5th.
That's 57?
57 pitches on the last one for the senior right-hander. Donaldson from the windup. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt.
Looked like a strike on the bounce.
2-2. We mentioned Aiken with 5 home runs as a team this year. They played a very good schedule. The 2-2 pitch to Seuss. Low and away, and the count's run full. So Seuss battles back from 0-2 to try to get the Aiken first base runner of the 5th inning. 2 pretty evenly matched teams statistically. The payoff pitch. Fouled straight back, and we'll do it again. Donaldson's got his Friday night stuff tonight for sure. 1 walk so far. The 3-2 pitch. froze him with the off-speed pitch. So Jared Donaldson gets the strikeout. Coming into the game, Jared had pitched 19 and 2/3 innings, 15 hits. Great strikeout to walk ratio at 6 walks and 27 strikeouts, and that certainly has improved tonight. So Donaldson freezes Seuss for out number 2, and that's going to bring up Scott Huntley. In the dirt, ball 1. Beautiful night for baseball. No breeze, no humidity. Temperatures will probably get down, Darcy, somewhere in the upper 40s, low 50s tonight. Darcy agrees. Qualifying tomorrow down in Kinderloo, Darcy. No, we're off. Golf team's off. In there for a strike. The national rankings for golf come out yet? We're still 16th? Okay, so after last weekend's performance at their home event in Albany, GSW, Donaldson in there for strike 2. GSW Golf moves up from 16th in the country to 12th in the country. Last year, Coach Donaldson and the golf team advanced all the way to the national championship match. Came up just short down in Palm Beach Gardens against Arkansas Tech. The 1-2 in the dirt. Wozniak's earning his money tonight. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Darcy and the golf team have had a great start to the season. Women's basketball, exciting news. Hopefully Sunday night at 10 p.m. GSW looking for their first ever appearance. And Donaldson with a big swing and a miss. So for Aiken, no runs, no hits. There were no GSW errors, no runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Your score remains GSW 4, Aiken nothing. You're listening to Hurricane Baseball on the Peach Belt Sports Network. Back on the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University, we move to the bottom of the 5th. The 3rd inning of work for Peyton Boozer. Boozer came in a jam in the 3rd and got a double play, and then had a very quiet 4th inning. So he starts his 3rd inning of work. And the freshman will face Anthony Angelino, the Canes' first baseman and 3-hole hitter, to start the bottom of the 5th. GSW with a 4-0 lead here in the home opener. In the Peach Belt opener for both teams. Angelino takes ball 1. Again, checking those other scores. North Georgia continues to lead Lander 3-1. Angelino fouls it back. So Boozer ahead. I'm sorry, the count's even at 1-1. Columbus has extended their lead to 33-3 in the 7th inning against Claflin. So Angelino fouls the 1-1 pitch back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just a bit outside. Evens the count at 2-2. An exciting time to be on campus at Georgia Southwestern. Just a bit outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes to the Canes first baseman, Anthony Angelino. We mentioned at the end of the last inning, GSW women and Coach Justin Payne hoping to secure their first ever NCAA Division II women's basketball tournament appearance. A 22-5 season. As Angelino fights one off in an easy play to first base, so 1 out. And Boozer's done very well coming out of the Aiken bullpen. So 1 out, and that's going to bring up Wozniak. Woz is earning his money tonight behind the plate. He's gotten dinged a couple of times.
Now for the plate number 35, Greg Wozniak.
But he has some pop behind the plate. 8 home runs last year, 2 already this year. As we mentioned, Coach Payne, they should be an at-large recipient. 22-5, unfortunately lost in the first round of the conference tournament to Clayton State. 62-54 Wednesday night. Boozer in there for strike 1. But Coach Payne and the women should have done enough on their resume to be able to be one of the 64 teams remaining. Softball on the road this weekend at Young Harris College. Peach Belt opener for them. They're on the road. So the baseball at home, softball on the road. Boozer misses upstairs. A ball and a strike. Boozer working from the stretch, done a good job out of the bullpen. Long weekend. Swinging strike. He's eating up some innings here. And keeping Aiken in the game. Canes looking to get off to a 1-0 start in the league. Claflin in here next weekend. The 1-2. Woz fouls it back towards the tennis courts. We mentioned same 2 teams tomorrow. First pitch 2 o'clock. GSW will turn to Nick McCullum. Been the day 2 or game 2 starter in each weekend series so far this year. The 1-2. Wozniak holds up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. McCullum, a redshirt sophomore, Richmond Hill, Georgia, Richmond Hill High School. Just a sophomore. So Woz has worked the count to 2-2. We're even here. Boozer comes and strikes Wozniak out swinging. No, Woz stayed alive. Foul ball, they couldn't catch it. So Seuss couldn't squeeze strike 3, so Woz stays alive. Boozer 7 walks and 8 strikeouts this year. Coming into the game, has had excellent command so far. Again, neither team hitting very well. And Wozniak does not make contact here, so a swinging strikeout. So 2 quiet outs so far for Boozer here in the 5th. And that's going to bring up Hunter Foster.
Now for the plate is center fielder number 15, Hunter Foster.
Foster walked in his last at-bat. Foster checks his swing, but he did go around for strike 1. So the Canes have yet to solve the Peyton Boozer puzzle as we're in the 5th inning here. Game 1 of a 3-game set. Bottom of the 5th. Peach Belt action all around tonight. In baseball and softball, Foster squares to bunt. Boozer misses outside. I don't know why I want to call him Hoover. Tarsi. George Donaldson can't help me there. The 1-1 pitch to the Canes center fielder. Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Reed Ragsdale, Hurricane left fielder on deck. Ragsdale also walked. Or he got hit last inning. Last at bat. He got hit in the 3-run 3rd. Inside, 3 balls and a strike. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Hunter Foster, Hazelhurst, Georgia, Jeff Davis High School. Upstairs, ball 4, so Foster's aboard. First free pass issued by Boozer, and that's going to bring up the Hurricane left fielder. Reed Ragsdale. So lefty on lefty here with 1 out in the 5th. Canes up 4-0. 6 straight home games to start Peach Belt play. Boozer misses outside, ball 1. Boozer working quickly as well. Swinging strike 1 for Ragsdale, so the count even at 1. Foster leads off first. Hopefully we'll get the center field camera up and running. Some technical internet difficulties right now. Reed looks at strike 2, so Boozer ahead 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foster on first, and 2 outs here in the Canes half of the 5th. Had Foster leaning, a better throw might have got him. The Canes, like we said, only 7 for 15 in stolen bases this year. Foster does not have a steal or an attempt. Looked like he was leaning there. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Reed Ragsdale. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that's going to do it for the Canes in the 5th. For GSW in the bottom of the 5th, no runs, no hits. There was no Aiken errors, 1 runner left on base. We go to the top of the 6th. Your score remains GSW 4, Aiken nothing. You're listening to Hurricane Baseball on the Peach Belt Sports Network.
I know belts and hoses, not X and O's. I do O2 sensors, but not defenses. Yeah, I make a right call to keep your car in the game. Don't even need a playbook, it's all in my brain. Fuel injectors, alternators, radiators too. It's who I am, it's what I do. Never know how. Never know how.
Jared Donaldson out to start the 6th inning. It's going to be Tyler Littlefield to lead things off for Aiken. Donaldson pitching very well tonight, has yet to allow a hit. 1 walk and 1 error. Donaldson in there for strike 1. From the windup. Skips it up there, and Wozniak's taking a beating tonight. 1 ball on the strike. Canes looking to get off on the right foot here and get to 1-0 in league play. The 1-1 pitch. Fastball upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. GSW had a chance to really blow it open in the 1st and the 3rd innings. But Donaldson's got a 4-run cushion in there for a strike. 2 balls and a strike. to Tyler Littlefield, a redshirt junior, Fresno, California. Donaldson looking to record out number 1 here in the 6th. Swinging strike 3. So Jared Donaldson, as we mentioned before, he's got the Friday night stuff working.
Now batting number 8, Sean McQuillan.
And that's going to bring up for Aiken McQuillan. So they're back to the top of the lineup. One out. McQuillan squares to bunt and pulls it back. One out here in the 6th. GSW with a 4-0 lead. Spring season off and running with Hurricane Athletics. Donaldson in there for strike 1. Tennis has been playing. Golf in the middle of their season. Baseball and softball starting the conference portion. And Coach Levering and the softball team up at Young Harris College to start their 3-game set this weekend. McQuillan with a great bunt. Donaldson falls down. Skelton just eats it. And that's going to be Aiken's first hit of the night. A bunt by McQuillan. I don't think that Donaldson fell coming off the mound. I don't think he would have made the play. That was a really good bunt there by McQuillan.
Now batting number 10, Jackson Hannon.
And that's going to bring up Jackson Hannon. Hannon aboard on an error last time. His last at bat. Hartsfield took the 2-hopper. President Neil Weaver, who is a baseball aficionado, is not happy that the first hit of the game was on a bunt in the 6th inning. So from the stretch, Donaldson misses ball 1. So Aiken with the base runner aboard. Hannon aboard, as we mentioned last time, on an error. So Aiken with their first hit of the night. Donaldson takes the temperature over there of McQuillan. GSW not terribly efficient at throwing out runners. Teams are 18 for 22 against GSW, stealing bases. Aiken does like to run, although McQuillan is not one of the runners. Aiken for the year, 42 for 47 on the bases. Donaldson just missed. 2 balls and no strikes to Jackson Hannon. Runner at first, 1 out for Jared Donaldson. Donaldson from the stretch. And there's a looper into center field. So back-to-back hits, a bunt by McQuillan, and then a kind of a flare out there by Hannon. And the triangle out there between short, second, and center. No way anybody could get to that. So
Number 1, Jeff Sear.
the Pacers have something working here in the 6th. Sear comes to the dish. 2 on, 1 out. So Donaldson gets the first batter swinging for a strikeout. Then McQuillan lays down a great bunt for the Pacers' first hit. And then Hannon singles to center field. So Aiken looking to mount a comeback here, trailing 4-0. Donaldson comes in with an off-speed pitch for strike 1. Donaldson working from the stretch. The 0-1 pitch, fastball, strike 2. So the Canes right-hander works ahead 0-2 of Sear. Little West Coast flavor from out in Colorado. One of 2 Colorado natives on the roster. The 0-2 pitch. And that's going to be pulled down to the third base line. That's going to be a double for Sear. And now Aiken is on the board. 3 straight hits. McQuillan with a bunt single. Hannon singles up the middle. And then Sear pulls a double just inside the third base line on an 0-2 pitch. And now Aiken has got something working here. 4-1 now. 1 out here in the 6th. So Donaldson started off with a 3 or 4 pitch strikeout. And then 3 straight hits. And that's going to bring up number 21, Nick Tripp. Tripp struck out last at-bat and takes ball 1 here. So Donaldson in a jam. 3 consecutive hits by Aiken. Off-speed pitch on the outside corner evens the count at 1-1. Donaldson from the windup, fastball in on the hands, fouled back, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Donaldson had 0-2 to Sear, and Sear doubled down the left field line. He's got Tripp behind 1-2 here. 6th inning, Hurricane Stadium. Peach Belt opener for both teams. GSW on top 4-1, but Aiken threatening. The 1-2 pitch. Bouncer to Skelton, he can't get it. Hartsfield. So an infield single. And now 4 straight hits and 2 runs. And we've got ourselves a ball game.
Now batting number 42, Josh Sharp.
And that's going to bring up Sharp. And the Canes start stirring in the bullpen. So Jared Donaldson cruising through the first 5 1/3. A bunt single. Brant Sundin will start warming up, and now Aiken has got the tying run on base. So Donaldson in the spot here. And again, it goes back to the job that Peyton Boozer has done so far, keeping this thing close, giving Aiken a chance. So Donaldson has worked the last 2 hitters. He's got 2 strikes, just can't finish them off, and starts strike 1 here to Sharp. So Boozer kept him in it, and now things have gotten interesting. Donaldson ahead 0-1. GSW had a couple of chances in the first and the third to blow it open. And another base hit, so 5 consecutive hits for the Pacers. So Sharp singles to left field. And now we've got a 4-3 game. So Jared Donaldson's given up 5 straight hits. And now the Canes are in trouble. So Sundin loosening in the bullpen. Pitched 4 great innings against West Georgia on Tuesday night. And that's going to bring up Blankenship. So runners at first and second. Still 1 away. And that's going to bring out pitching coach Tyler Bender to make the slow walk to speak to his right-hander. So Tyler Bender with a few words for his senior right-hander. Aiken, after not having a hit through 5 1/3, has now 5 consecutive hits. Funny how baseball goes like that. Donaldson in complete cruise control until a McQuillan bunt. And the floodgates have opened here for Aiken. So So the tying run in scoring position here, Jared Donaldson gets ahead, strike one. So whatever Tyler Bender said seemed to connect. Caden Blankenship with a base hit here could potentially tie this game up. Peach Belt opener for both schools. Canes were up 4-0. It's now 4-3. And there's another hit. 6 consecutive hits. And they hold them up. So the bases are going to be loaded, as they certainly have cracked the code on Jared Donaldson. So 6 straight hits for Aiken. The bases are loaded, 1 out. And that's going to bring Seuss up. Sundin is cranking it up here as Carson Seuss comes to the dish. So Jared Donaldson has worked himself into a jam here. He struck Seuss out in his first appearance. He came in a rare battery switch. I think somebody called a time. Donaldson's not happy. So no pitch there. So Donaldson's got to kind of get control here. So Jared got to get out of a jam. Good pitch there, strike one. Canes still lead 4-3, bases full of Pacers. And Donaldson ahead 0-1. From the windup, Donaldson misses upstairs, 1 ball and a strike, nowhere to put the Pacer catcher. GSW jumped on top 4-0. Aiken has responded with 3 in the 6th. As Sundin warms up with some urgency. The 1-1 pitch, fouled straight back. A ball and 2 strikes. Strikeout would be big here. The 1-2 pitch. Donaldson got him swinging. So a big strikeout and out number 2. So that's going to bring up Scott Huntley. So Donaldson, after striking out the first batter of the inning, gets up 6 consecutive hits, 5 singles and a double, and then strikes Seuss out for the second time. So Huntley comes up, bases full of Pacers, 2 outs. GSW 4, Aiken 3, top of the 6th here in Americus, Georgia. Donaldson from the windup. In there for strike 1. Nice off-speed pitch. Sundin throwing game pitches here, no question about that. So Donaldson trying to get through the 6th. Hard grounder to Angelino. He takes it on his own. So Donaldson gets out of the jam. But for the Pacers, in the 6th, 3 runs, 6 hits. No GSW errors. Aiken left 3 on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Your score, GSW 4, Aiken 3. You're listening to Hurricane Baseball on the Peach Belt Sports Network. right, back on the campus of Georgia Southwestern State University, we move to the bottom of the 6th. GSW now clinging to a 4-3 lead as the Pacers erupt for 3 runs and 6 hits in their half of the 6th. And Peyton Boozer going back to work here for his 4th inning of work. He has kept the Hurricanes' bats at bay. The only hit he allowed was to this man, Tyler Skelton. Skelton with the single over the drawn-in infield that brought home Hunter Foster back in the 3rd. So Skelton leads things off in the bottom of the 6th. Aiken has made it much more interesting here at Hurricane Stadium. A 3-run outburst in the 6th. And now let's see if the Hurricanes can answer. Fastball in there. Skelton fouls it back over the first base dugout. And Boozer ahead, 0-1. Said Skelton singled in a run. Last inning, super senior, took advantage of the COVID year. Fastball upstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mary Persons High School right up the road, about an hour away, Darcy. See if the Hurricanes can get something happening in their half of the 6th. Fastball, Skelton all over it and pulls it into left field for a base hit. So a good start for GSW here in the bottom of the 6th as Skelton rips a Boozer fastball into left field, and that's going to bring up number 4, Grant McDonald. McDonald hit into an inning-ending double play back in the 3rd with runners on the corners and a chance for the Canes to blow it open, hit into an inning-ending double play, and now has an opportunity with Skelton on first with a leadoff single. We mentioned McDonald's brother, Brooks, battled through a ton of injuries in his career, wound up being here for 6 years, and now baseball coach at Furlough Charter here in Americus. So I'm sure Brooks is pulling for his brother. Boozer keeps an eye on Skelton. Fastball down and in, so 1 ball and no strikes. GSW looking to answer back in the bottom half. Aiken put up 3 on Donaldson. Mamadis on deck. And then we flip the lineup back to Hartsfield. Boozer from the stretch. McDonald cuts and misses or fouls it back. Seuss couldn't grab the foul ball. Not that it would have mattered, but the swinging foul ball by McDonald evens the count at 1-1. Skelton the board with the leadoff single here in the 6th. 6 Aiken hits, 4 for GSW. Aiken had 6 in a row in the 6th. Good play over there by first base by Blankenship. That pickoff throw by Boozer almost got away. One ball and 1 strike to the Canes DH. Swinging strike 2 by McDonald. Transfer from Truett McConnell College. Grant looking for his 2nd hit on the season. Not much playing time, small sample size. Boozer misses upstairs. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Canes would like a little insurance here in the 6th. Boozer has pitched really well out of the bullpen for Aiken.
He sure has, Cotton.
Boozer gets the sign from Seuss. The 2-2 pitch to McDonald. Fouled back, and we'll do it again. Skelton not looking to run much. No attempts, no steals on the year for Tyler. So Boozer keeping him on close, but I don't think Skelton is much of a threat to run here. The 2-2 pitch. Just missed. Oh, and they called a swinging strike. The appeal.
Replay that, Darcy.
And they get the swinging strike. Wow. So if we take a look at the replay, looks like the umpire may have missed that one there. That's going to bring Mamadas up. So swinging strikeout nonetheless. As we take a look at the replay, the home plate umpire did not call it. He asked for help down at first, and we were given the strike 3. So McDonald down on strikes for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring out Matthew Mamadas, the Canes second baseman. Move over to his first, checking on Skelton. We've hit the 8 o'clock hour here, Darcy, in the bottom of the 6th. In the production tent at Hurricane Stadium. Mamadas digs in. Fastball lined into center field. That's going to get down, so a base hit for Mamadas. So the Hurricanes have something cooking. As we flip the lineup, we go to the top of the lineup for the Canes. It's Miles Hartsfield. Hartsfield a chance here to even things up. Hoover misses upstairs, ball 1. Boozer, not Hoover. Upstairs, 1 ball, no strikes. Skelton off second. Mamadas off of first. There's a wild pitch, and that's going to get in the dugout, and that's going to score a run. So another wild pitch by Aiken. Oh, no, they're not going to score a run. They're going to keep him at third and second. So only up 90 feet. So a wild pitch by Hoover. And Mamadas and Skelton move up 90 feet. So 2 balls, no strikes to the Canes leadoff hitter. And Hoover's in a little bit of trouble here. Aiken has worked it back to a 4-3 game. The Canes looking to answer. So 2 balls and no strikes to the Canes leadoff hitter and shortstop, Miles Hartsfield. Hit .372 last year as a freshman. The 2-0 pitch. Hartsfield nails it up the middle, and that's a base hit. McDonald's waving Mamadas around, and 2 will score. And that's going to put the Canes back on top 6-3. So a 2-0 fastball. Hartsfield didn't miss it. Ropes it up the middle. Skelton from third scores easily. Mamadas rounds third and scores with no throw. And the Canes answer Aiken's 3 with 2 of their own so far. So a 2 RBI single by Miles Hartsfield. And the Canes go up 6-3. And that's going to bring up the right fielder, Garrett Bradley. Hartsfield off first. Hoover touched for the first time. Bradley squares to bunt, pulls it back, ball 1. So Hoover had been cruising. And now the second time through the lineup, the Canes pick up a couple of runs. Aiken's bullpen continues to stir. Can't see down there from our vantage point. In there for a strike. Angelino on deck. The Canes looking to answer Aiken's 3 and have 2 so far here in the bottom half of the 6th. Hartsfield leads off of first. Throw over the first by Boozer. He's pitched well. In a little bit of trouble here in the bottom half of the 6th. A lot of room between short and third. Bradley can get one on the ground there. Again, another throw over to Hartsfield. on the season. Hartsfield, 2 steals and 4 attempts. Was caught stealing last weekend at Lenore Rhine. One ball and 1 strike. Bradley with a big swing and a miss. Be interesting to see if Coach McDonald goes back with Donaldson. Sundin has stopped throwing. So either he's ready to come in or the 1-2 pitch. Bradley goes down on strikes. So a big strike out there by Peyton Boozer. And that's going to bring up the first baseman, Anthony Angelino. Hurricanes 6, Pacers 3, bottom 6. The line score right now, GSW 6 runs, 6 hits and an error. Aiken 3 runs, 6 hits and 2 errors. And that's going to be the end for Peyton Boozer tonight. But a great job out of the bullpen. Kept it close, gave Aiken a chance. They got it to 4-3. He's going to turn it over now to the bullpen. We'll be back. You're listening to Hurricane Baseball on the Peach Belt Sports Network.
Try an Immune Builder smoothie. With 800% of your daily vitamin C, it's just what you need to rule the day.
All right, back from the pitching change. A 1-1 count to the Canes first baseman Anthony Angelino. 2 outs here in the 6th. A little bit low, 2 balls and a strike. Pitching change for Aiken has brought in Austin Holm into the game, a 5'7" redshirt senior from Snellville, Georgia, transfer from Georgia Southern. A little Division I experience for Holm. The 2-1 pitch. Angelino checked it but went around 2-2. 4 appearances for Holm this year, 1 save, 4 2/3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Team's only hitting 125 against the redshirt senior. Two balls and 2 strikes. Canes up 6-3 here. Oh, and Angelino hits it on the screws, and that's going to get down. So another hit for Anthony Angelino. Hartsfield up to second. So the Canes pick up their 3rd hit of the inning. So the 6th inning has been a hitter's paradise. Aiken had 6 hits in the top half. The Canes have answered with 3 in the bottom half. And now Greg Wozniak, the Canes cleanup hitter, to the dish. And he's got a chance to get all the runs back here. Hartsfield at second, Angelino at first, both aboard via singles. And now Angelino looking to increase the Hurricane lead. Home from the stretch. The side armor comes set. And now steps off as Hartsfield dances around. Now the umpires get together. I'm not sure what they might be discussing. So they've talked it over. And whatever the issue was, they did not include the first base umpire. So the 2 umpires get together and seem to have sorted it out. And now Wozniak steps to the dish. And again, another ball that gets away from the catcher. So Aiken, the battery, has really struggled tonight between pass balls and wild pitches. I think that's a wild pitch. The 7th wild pitch of the night for South Carolina Aiken. And Hartsfield to third, and now Angelino to second. So a Wozniak single here can really get things going. 17 wild pitches on the year for Aiken, 7 tonight. So they've really increased their wild pitch count. They're going to intentionally walk Wozniak, so the bases are loaded now to bat Hunter Foster. So Holm issues the free pass.
The center fielder, number 15, Foster.
And now Foster comes to bat. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 6-3 Hurricane lead. So Aiken picked up 3 runs and left the bases loaded in the top half. The Canes have answered with 2 runs and have the bases loaded in the bottom half. So let's see what the Canes center fielder can do here. Sacks are packed. Inside ball 1. To Foster. So GSW looking to extend their lead 6-3. Jared Donaldson, the Canes starter, all 6 innings. I believe Brant Sundin will take over from there. But right now we're in the bottom half and the bases are full for Foster. The 1-0 pitch. Low and away. 2 balls and no strikes. Nowhere to put them. So 2 balls and no strikes. Hartsfield off third, Angelino off second, Wozniak off first. The 2-0 pitch. Downstairs looked good, but was not called a strike. 3 balls and no strikes. There is no chance that Foster's swinging here. Holmes got nowhere to put him. Big at bat here. Ragsdale on deck. The 3-0 pitch. Ball 4. He missed on all 4, and that's going to walk in a run. So Aiken works hard to get 3 in the top half. GSW answers with 3 in the bottom half, and the bases are still loaded. So an intentional walk to Wozniak, and then a 4-pitch walk to Hunter Foster. Hartsfield comes home from third to score. Angelino to third. Wozniak to second. Foster's now on first, and we're going to have another pitching change. So the appearance does not go well for Austin Holm, and we're going to have a pitching change. We'll take a break. You're listening to Hurricane Baseball on the Peach Belt Sports Network. Back at Hurricane Stadium, USC Aiken makes another pitching change. On the bump now is number 37, Adam Christinger. Christinger is 6 foot, 185-pound redshirt freshman, West Columbia, South Carolina, making his 4th appearance this year, all out of the bullpen. Christinger has pitched 3 innings, 1 hit, 4 runs. They're all earned. He's walked 3 and struck out 2. He's given up 1 home run. And he's pitched to an ERA of 12. He inherits a mess. The Hurricanes will have the bases loaded. And Christinger will face the Canes left fielder, Reed Ragsdale, as he completes his warm-up tosses. We'll take a look around the Peach Belt. So Ragsdale comes to the plate. Canes looking around. Columbus tonight beats Claflin 33-5. North Georgia beats Lander 5-1. And Flagler beats Augusta 2-0. And here we've got GSW 6, Aiken 3. So Ragsdale comes up. Bases full of Hurricanes. Christinger comes in, off-speed pitch, strike 1. Nice bender there that Ragsdale just took a look at. Working from the stretch. Fastball, strike 2. So Ragsdale quickly behind, no balls and 2 strikes. The Canes have the bases loaded. They've matched Aiken's 3 with 3 of their own. And like Aiken, they have the bases loaded and 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch to Ragsdale. Reed punches it down the left field line. That's going to be foul. So Reed stays alive at 0-2. Angelino on third. Wozniak on second. And Foster on first. Ragsdale behind 0-2 to Christinger. Trying to work his way out of a jam. Canes answered Aiken's 3 with 3 of their own so far. From the stretch, the 0-2 pitch. Ragsdale hits it on the button. Deep left field. And they make the catch. So the bottom half of the 6th is complete for GSW. 3 runs, 3 hits, no Aiken errors. GSW left the bases loaded. We go to the top of the 7th. Your score, GSW 6, Aiken 3.
They say college is the best time of your life. But what about what comes next? At Georgia Southwestern State University, you're not just here for the clubs, or the campus, or the dining hall. You're here for small class sizes, affordable programs, and real-world experience. When you come to GSW, you're not just here for college. You're here for your tomorrow. Georgia Southwestern State University. Take tomorrow by storm. Start your journey.
Jared gave a quality start tonight, 6 innings, 6 hits, all in a row, and gave up 3 earned runs. But he leaves with GSW on top 6-3. And Josh McDonald will turn it over to number 34, Brant Sundin. Sundin, a left-handed reliever, 6'3", 250 pounds, from Lakeland, Florida, a transfer from Florida Gulf Coast University. Taking a look at the numbers on Sundin. This will be Brant's 8th appearance this year, all out of the bullpen. He's pitched 12 2/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them are earned, 2 walks, and 10 strikeouts. Opponents hitting 122 against him. Sundin has pitched to a 2.13 ERA, and he has 1 save. His last appearance Tuesday night out of the bullpen, a 4 scoreless innings against the University of West Georgia right here at Hurricane Stadium. So Sundin takes over for Donaldson. An eventful 6th inning as Aiken scores 3 in the top to cut it to 4-3. The Hurricanes answer with 3 in the bottom to open up that cushion again to keep it at 7-3. So we start the 7th, and it's going to be Tyler Littlefield to lead things off for Aiken. So Georgia College and Young Harris will play a doubleheader tomorrow, and that's the last of the 5 series. 4 of the 5 series start tonight. Georgia College, Young Harris tomorrow. Sundin misses to Littlefield. Ball 1. Sundin misses 2 balls and no strikes. So the bullpen is going to have to get it done for the Hurricanes here over the final 3 innings. Sundin from the windup. The 2-0 pitch, Littlefield swings and misses. 2 balls and a strike. Nice crowd out here. First Friday night game in a while. Single game tomorrow, single on Sunday. Should be great weather, hopefully a great turnout. If you're a Canes 360 member, the beer tent's open at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Sundin skies one to Foster in center field. So Sundin retires Littlefield on a high fly. And that's going to bring up McQuillan, the leadoff hitter. And last inning, McQuillan got it all started. He laid down a great bunt, and that opened the floodgates to 6 consecutive Aiken hits that led to 3 runs. So Aiken hitless after 5 1/3, and then had 6 consecutive hits, 5 singles and a double. Lefty on lefty here, though. Sundin finds the zone for strike 1. GSW 7 runs, 7 hits and 1 error. Aiken 3 runs, 6 hits and 2 errors. Off speed pitch. McQuillan squared the bunt again. I guess he pulled it back. Did they appeal? They do. And it's still a ball. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Off-speed pitch misses, and again, Sundin behind 2-1. Brant spent some time as a designated hitter last year. Looks like he's gone more to a pitcher this year. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball grounded over to Mamadas, a 2-bouncer over to Angelino. So 2 up, 2 down to start the 7th. And that's going to bring up Jackson Hannon.
Now batting number 10, Jackson Hannon.
Hannon, part of the hit parade last inning for Aiken, singled to center field in his last at-bat, came around to score in the 3-run Aiken 6th. So the Hurricane left-hander from the windup and deals. Fastball misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Same 2 teams tomorrow, 2 o'clock Hurricane Stadium. Temperature about 82 degrees tomorrow, Darcy. Sundin hits Hannon on the arm. And Aiken has their first base runner of the 7th inning. And that's going to bring up Jeff Sire.
Now batting number 1, Jeff Sear.
Sear. So Sear doubled inside the third base bag to get the scoring started for Aiken. That brought McQuillan home with Aiken's first run. So a double in his last at-bat. And now he comes up with a runner on and 2 out. Sundin misses. 1 ball and no strikes. Hannon leads off first. No attempts on steals this year. Sundin in there to even the count at 1-1. 2 outs here in the Aiken half of the 7th. Josh McDonald and the Hurricanes looking to get off to a 1-0 start in the Peach Belt. We mentioned before the first of 6 straight to start the Peach Belt season. 3 this weekend with Aiken, 3 next weekend with Claflin. So, big swing and a miss. So, GSW getting some South Carolina flavor in USC Aiken, and then Claflin out of Orangeburg, South Carolina. So, we start off with the South Carolina portion of the schedule. From the stretch, the 1-2 pitch. Runner goes. Wozniak throws. They got him. So that's going to end the 7th for Aiken. No runs, no hits, no GSW errors. There's no runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Your score, GSW 7, Aiken 3. You're listening to Hurricane Baseball on the Peach Belt Sports Network. Wozniak gets Hannon out, stealing to end the top of the 7th. And that's going to bring Tyler Skelton to the plate. Skelton with a couple of hits tonight. The last time hammered a Peyton Boozer pitch into left field and came around to score. So Christinger, who struck out Ragsdale to end last inning, now faces a clean inning. He still works from the stretch. Christinger to Skelton. Off speed misses, 1 ball and no strikes. GSW 7, Aiken 3. Brant Sundin, an effective 7th inning after Jared Donaldson, tonight's starter, goes 6 solid innings and left with the lead. Christinger misses again, 2 balls and no strikes. 2 off-speed pitches, 2 balls to Tyler Skelton, the Canes' third baseman. Back in the Canes' 3-run third, Skelton singled over the through the drawn-in infield. And now 2 balls and no strikes. Fastball, Skelton skies it into right field. Confusion out there, but the center fielder catches it. So an easy out, number 1 for Aiken. And that's going to bring up Grant McDonald.
Now batting number 4, Grant McDonald.
McDonald struck out last time against Peyton Boozer. Kissinger misses with an off-speed pitch. 1 ball and no strikes. Hurricanes looking for their 5th win overall, but more importantly, getting that first win in Peach Belt Conference play. Off-speed stuff upstairs. So again, 2-0. Kissinger falls behind. Even with nobody on base, Kissinger works from the stretch. Fastball blows it by McDonald. 2 balls and a strike. McDonald, the designated hitter tonight. Fouls it back by the tennis courts. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We mentioned Kissinger. Teams bat .091 against him. His 1 hit he's given up was a grand slam. But he's pitching very well tonight. Small sample size. McDonald didn't mean to swing, checked it on what would have been ball 3 and fouled it back. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We mentioned small sample size, only 3 innings coming into the game for Kissinger. But he's got the first 2 batters he's faced here tonight out. Just a freshman. Misses away with the breaking pitch, and it runs the count full. We mentioned a very South Carolina, Georgia flavor predominantly for Aiken on the roster. Kissinger from South Carolina. 3-2 pitch, and he blows it by McDonald. And Aiken has a little trouble throwing it around the horn. They'll go the real long way. They'll go to left field first. So the throw from the catcher got underneath the third baseman's glove. So that's going to bring up the second baseman, Matthew Mamadas. See if we can get something started with Kissinger. The Aiken bullpen has done well. Off-speed pitch in there for strike 1. So Kissinger working ahead now. Got behind 2-0 to the first 2 hitters. Came back and got them both. A high fly ball to center field for Skelton and a swinging strikeout to McDonald. Kissinger came back with the fastball and missed upstairs. So evens the count at 1-1.
He's not caught. He'll call low. He ain't calling it. He's been fairly consistent.
Like we said, Kissinger, redshirt freshman. West Columbia High School, state capital, Columbia, South Carolina. Misses away. 2 balls and a strike. We mentioned same 2 teams tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And then on Sunday, we'll go at 1. The Pacers make that drive back to Aiken, South Carolina. Fastball in there evens the count at 2-2. Hunter Steger started. Was relieved by Peyton Boozer, and now it's Kissinger. The 2-2 pitch. Mamadas stays alive and fouls the ball back. Bless you, Darcy. The 2-2 pitch. Outside, and runs the count full. Hartsfield on deck. He's had a great game. Not as good a game as Darcy Donaldson, but there's a walk to Mamadas. So the first base runner off of Kissinger, and that's going to bring up Hartsfield. So Miles Hartsfield singled and drove in 2 runs back in the 6th.
Now batting number 3, Miles Hartsfield.
And Hartsfield seems to be finding his stride here. Like we said, hit 372 as a freshman. And Christinger, who came in with the bases loaded, now allows his first base runner. He inherited a bases loaded jam and struck Ragsdale out in the 6th. Off-speed pitch to Hartsfield outside, ball 1. Mamadas aboard on a walk. Skelton started the inning with the fly ball to center. McDonald struck out. We mentioned Mamadas' walk, and now 1-0 to the Kane shortstop. Christinger's stretch misses again outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Garrett Bradley on deck. Took over in right field for Josh Newton tonight. Newton hit by a pitch back in the first inning. Hartsfield asked for and gets time. 2 hours and 36 minutes so far, Darcy. Fastball, inside, 3 balls and no strikes. So GSW looking for a little insurance. I might let Hartsfield swing here. If he likes it, jump all over it. The 3-0 pitch. Right down the middle, so you must have had the take sign. So Christinger trying to battle all the way back. He walked the last batter, Mamadas, and is behind in the count 3-1 to the Kane shortstop. And now the count goes full 3-2, so Mamadas will be on the move. Christinger gets the sign, checks the runner, the 3-2 pitch, and we'll do it all over again. Hartsfield fouls it back by the apartment complex behind Hurricane Field, or adjacent to Hurricane Field. So we'll do it all over again. From the stretch, Christinger's 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4, so back-to-back walks. First to Matthew Mamadas, and then to Miles Hartsfield, and that's going to bring up Garrett Bradley. So Bradley, a transfer from ABAC right down the road in Tifton, about an hour south.
Now batting number 18, Garrett Bradley.
Bradley looking for his second hit as a Hurricane. We mentioned earlier, Savannah, Georgia native. Played high school at Savannah Christian. And we're going to have another pitching change. So Christinger did a great job to get out of a bases loaded jam, easily retired the first 2 batters of the inning, and then walked Mamadas and Hartsfield, and that's going to be another pitching change. So we'll be back on the Peach Bell Conference Sports Network. Stadium, another Aiken pitching change. Now on the mound will be number 23, Evan Condon. Condon, a 6'2", 185-pound junior, right-handed hurler from Marietta, Georgia, George Walton High School. And for the year, Condon again, small sample size, only 2 appearances, 2 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, all 6 earned. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Pitching to an ERA of 27, but again, a very small sample size for the junior right-hander. He inherits 2 runners on from Christinger. Mamadas walked, and then Hartsfield walked. And now we got the Kane right fielder, Garrett Bradley, will be the first batter that Condon will face. The GSW, or the Peach Belt Conference Championships going on in men's basketball tonight. Flagler beats Landers 67-62 over in Aiken. And Augusta with an 11-point lead on Columbus, so the top two seeds look to advance in Augusta, Georgia for the Peach Belt Basketball Championships. But back to baseball, and it's Garrett Bradley. Runners on first and second. Good block up by Seuss there. Condon missed with the ball. Angelino on deck. Bradley looking to get some insurance. Canes lead 7-3. Peach Belt opener for both schools. Canes looking to snap a 5-game losing streak. Upstairs, ball 2. So Aiken getting themselves in trouble here with the free passes. 2 consecutive walks, and now a 2-0 count to the Hurricane right fielder. Condon from the stretch. In the dirt, 3 balls and no strikes. So Condon can't find the zone with his first 3 pitches. And he's in danger of loading the bases. All this with 2 outs. It started with a Tyler Skelton fly ball to center. Grant McDonald struck out. And then back-to-back walks to Hartsfield and Mamadas. Fastball in there, strike 1. So 3 balls and a strike to Bradley. The base hit could make it 8-3 here. Brant Sundin cruised through the 7th. No action in the Hurricane bullpen. The 3-1 pitch. Fastball in there, strike 2. Bradley thought it was a ball. The merry-go-round is running. Hartsfield will be moving from first. Mamadas will be moving from second. A base hit will definitely score Matthew Mamadas. Bradley wants time and gets time. The interim head baseball coach for Aiken, Michael Holder. So another full count. The 3-2 pitch. Inside foot pivot there and had Mamata scrambling back to second, but not enough, didn't even draw the throw. So we'll do it again. The 3-2 pitch. Low, ball 4. So 3 consecutive walks by the Aiken pitchers, and the bases are loaded for the GSW first baseman, Anthony Angelino. Greg Wozniak on deck, and nowhere for Condon to put Angelino. Off speed in there for a strike. Mamadas leads off third. Hartsfield leads off second. And now Garrett Bradley off of first. Nobody holding Bradley on. 2 outs here in the 7th. Bottom of the 7th. Canes looking to blow it open here. Angelino fouls it back and goes down 0-2. So Condon looking to get out of a jam. Last inning, Christinger got out of the jam by striking out Ragsdale with the bases loaded. And now Anthony Angelino trying to make it happen here in the Canes half of the 7th. The 0-2 pitch. Low and away, 1-2. Kind of a waste pitch there by Condon. The 1-2. Angelino stays alive, swings at the breaking ball. Good pitch by Condon. Angelino fought it off. So we'll do it again at 1-2. Angelino, the only New Jersey native on the roster. Condon from the stretch, the 1-2. Fastball, Angelino didn't miss that one. Lines it into right field for a base hit. Mamata scores, Hartsfield scores, and on to third goes Bradley. So a 2-out single to right field for Anthony Angelino, and the Canes go up 9-3. So Anthony with a 1-2 pitch takes it the other way. A line shot between first and second. Mamatis easily scores. Hartsfield around second and scored. And now the Canes have some breathing room. Runners still on the corners. And now it's Greg Wozniak. So Condon could not get out of the bases loaded jam. And the Canes have blown it open. It's 9-3 here in the bottom of the seventh. Wozniak had asked for time. The umpire's ready to go. Condon's ready to go from the stretch. Breaking ball away, 1 ball and no strikes. So Anthony Angelino with a clutch single with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 7th inning. So Condon was 1 pitch away. And after Aiken scored 3 runs, Southwestern has now answered with 5 over the last 2 innings. Condon from the stretch. In the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Hunter Foster on deck for the Hurricanes. Peach Belt opener for both schools tonight. Condon from the stretch, the 2-0. Wozniak a swinging strike 1. Might have been low. But Condon now gets on the board, so 2 balls and a strike to the Canes catcher. The 2-1 pitch. Fastball fouled back, 2-2. The Canes have tied their 2nd highest run output of the year. They had 20 against Shepherd 2 weeks ago tomorrow. They also scored 9 runs on homecoming day against Eckerd, the home series weekend. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball, Wozniak about took out his teammate Garrett Bradley down there at third base, but a loud foul. So 9 runs against Eckerd and 9 runs here tonight. So the 2-2 pitch here to Greg Wozniak. Condon's pitch. Woz fouls another one. Over the Hurricane bullpen. Onto the street, I think. Evan Condon trying to get out of the jam and keep Aiken within striking distance. 9-3 Hurricanes. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball way upstairs, 3-2. So everybody's going to be moving on this one. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bradley will be moving from third. Angelino from first. And he's got to throw a strike to Wozniak, or he's going to load the bases for Hunter Foster. The payoff pitch. Fastball, Wozniak skies it, foul. I don't think there's enough room. And there's not. We couldn't see down the right field line, but it didn't look like there was going to be enough room, and there wasn't. So we'll do the 3-2 pitch again. Canes have been patient tonight. They've gotten a lot of walks. Aiken's had some wild pitches and pass balls, but the payoff pitch here, fastball, Wozniak fouls it again. There might be room this time. And it's not. There's a lot of room over there in right field. And the right field foul line, I could not see that, but you don't want to keep throwing 3-2 fastballs to Wozniak. but Condon has survived them so far. Wozniak asked for time. Angelino asked for time. He's got to tie his shoe. Assistant coach Adam Cinco made sure he got the time there. Josh has got a good staff. Adam Cinco and Tyler Bender both in their first year. The 3-2 pitch. Fastball. Fouled back to the net. So Condon can't get it by Wozniak, but Woz can't put one in play. Mentioned Adam Cinco, first year. Tyler Bender, also in his first year. Both Florida natives. And we'll do it all over again. Runners will be going. The 3-2 pitch. Fastball. Wozniak lines it to the shortstop.
Wow, that ball was knuckling.
Right off of, a line shot. It's going to be a base hit.
Mark, I know I'm not on the radio, but that ball was knuckling. I mean, he was going right out towards center field and knuckled. I mean,
It looked like the ball really knuckled on the shortstop, number 10, Jackson Hannon. And the line shot got him. If Darcy can give us a replay. You take a look. Ball started diving there a little bit on Hannon. A tough play. But a base hit by Wozniak. As we take a look at the replay from behind. Or we don't. Come on, Darcy.
Another one?
No. So Coach Holder will come take a look at Hannon. I think that's Hannon. Can't see what number that is. That might be Littlefield at short. It looked like number 10 to me. I think it's number 18. But it didn't take a vicious bounce. It was just hit so strangely off of Wozniak's bat. Looked like a knuckleball, and I don't think it was as easy to judge. It is number 18, and it is Tyler Littlefield. But no way that he could have made that play with the ball knuckling and dancing like it was. And that allowed Bradley to score. Angelino stayed at second. Sundin kind of warming up, getting some extra tosses in. I think Littlefield's going to be okay. Trainer's out there taking a look at him. There's the replay. Best replay guy in the business. But you can see the ball never bounced. It just took a very odd flight. It looked like a knuckleball. It wasn't easy to judge. And I think Littlefield's going to be okay. Or no, maybe not. Maybe they're going to move guys around. Hard to tell. So we will have a defensive change. Littlefield will come out. I think he's okay. He's walking okay. Getting some high fives from everybody, and certainly don't want to speak for him, but that's gonna force Aiken to make some changes here. So Wozniak's gonna get credit for an RBI single, knocking Bradley in, and that increases the Hurricane lead to 10-3. So Condon's going to need to take some warm-up pitches. Aiken shuffled a few guys around. Scott Huntley moves over, it looks like, to short. And number 17, Dalton Graves, look like he's going to come in to play first base. So Graves, a freshman, also from Aiken, South Carolina, Aiken High School. He's going to come in to play first. Angelino will be on second. Wozniak aboard on a single to first. And that's going to bring Hunter Foster up. So I think we've got everything reset. Condon will now face Foster, the Canes center fielder. 2 on, 2 out. So again, off-speed pitch. They appeal, and they get the appeal again. So Foster behind in the count, 0-1. Again, a very quiet start to the inning for the Hurricanes. A Skelton fly ball and a McDonald strikeout, and then since then it's been a parade of hits and walks to get the Canes 3 more runs. So 3 different times tonight, GSW's had 3 runs in an inning. A hit here by Foster might change that. No appeal this time. Foster did check his swing, so 1 ball and 1 strike. Brant Sundin just kind of staying loose down there. It's a long inning here in the 7th. We're moving on hour number 3, Darcy. We don't get paid overtime. Condon trying to get out of the inning. Off-speed pitch in there for strike 2. So a 1-2 count to the Hurricane center fielder, Hunter Foster, here in the bottom of the 7th. GSW on top 10-3. Second most runs in a game this year for GSW. Mentioned 2 weeks ago tomorrow, they scored 20 runs in game 1 against Shepherd, sparking a 3-game sweep of the Rams from Shepherdstown, West Virginia. Condon comes set, the 1-2 to Foster, off speed outside, 2-2. Angelino scampers back to second. And Aiken's pitchers having trouble finding the zone here in the 7th. I believe this is Aiken's 5th pitcher of the night. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball low. So we run it full again. The runners will be on the move. Angelino will be running from second. Wozniak from first. And Foster's going to get a 3-2 pitch. Starting to get a little chilly tonight, Darcy. Slight breeze in the tent. Condon with the payoff pitch. Fastball. Foster a chopper to the new shortstop. Long throw. Safe. Foster beats it out. So Hundley just moves over to short. And how often does that happen that the ball seems to find you? A slow bouncer. Foster can move. And he beat Hundley's throw. So the Hurricanes get their 10th hit of the night. And that's going to bring up the Hurricane left fielder, Reed Ragsdale. Ragsdale with another opportunity with the bases loaded. He was Kissinger's first batter last inning, and he struck out with the bases loaded. And Reed takes ball 1. Condon's got nowhere to put him. GSW really looking to blow it open here. A Ragsdale hit could do it from the windup. Fastball high, but in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Reed skies it up in the air. All kinds of confusion, and that's an error, a huge error. Nobody called it. The pitcher then tried to grab it, and he couldn't catch it, so the old Abbott and Costello, I got it, you take it. And 2 more runs score, so another Aiken error. Ragsdale skied it a mile in the air, and nobody seemed to want the ball. Condon kind of stuck his glove out there at the end. He couldn't make the catch. Ragsdale winds up on second. Foster winds up on third. And now Skelton to the plate. Fix the thing, Sells. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Skelton fouls it off. 1 ball and 1 strike. So the Canes go up 12-3. So Condon a little bit of a victim, unlucky. Did his job and got the pop-up. 1-1 inside to Foster. Again, all this started with 2 outs and nobody on. Two and 1 to Skelton. Fastball. Skelton swings and misses. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So GSW has picked up 3 hits this inning. Another Aiken error. It's led to 5 runs for GSW. The 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses. And we've got another 3-2 count. Aiken has lived in the 3-2 counts. The runners will be moving. Foster from third, Ragsdale from second. A base hit will make it 14-3. from the windup. Condon, 3-2. Fastball. The catcher can't catch it. I have never seen anything like the battery struggles that Aiken's had tonight. It's a walk.
And a pass ball. What do you call a strike? He didn't ever say a signal for that? Oh.
So it was a walk to Skelton. Now there's confusion. Oh, that's the run rule. Okay, so Skelton, we get the run rule. So that's going to do it. I didn't realize we were playing the run rule. So that's going to do it, Darcy. The game ended a little quicker than we thought. So GSW with a walk-off walk. So your final score from Hurricane Stadium, GSW 13, Aiken 3. Your final line score for GSW, 13 runs, 10 hits, and 1 error. Aiken, 3 runs, 6 hits, and 3 errors. Your winning pitcher, Jared Donaldson, going 6 innings. Branch Sundin wraps it up with 1 scoreless inning. So GSW snaps a 5-game losing streak, improves their overall record to 5-11, but more importantly, 1-0 in conference play. USC Aiken drops to 6-9, 0-1 in league play. The same 2 teams tomorrow, 2 o'clock first pitch, Hurricane Stadium, where Nick McCullum will go to see if the Hurricanes can go back-to-back. You're listening to the Peach Belt Sports Network and Hurricane Baseball.